Hello! So for today's video, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I am going to talk about makeup that you can travel with, makeup that's practical to travel with, makeup that is going to give you options when you're traveling. Based on what kind of makeup wearer you are, some of this is going to be relevant. If you can fit all of your makeup into a bag like this, then you don't need to pack everything that I'm going to be talking about. But if you're like another size up and you want to go for something like this, or even if you need like an entire case for when you're traveling with makeup, whatever you want to do is fine. Makeup is a very personal thing. I'm not here to shame on how much or how little makeup you wear. I just want to talk to you about the things that I travel with and things that I think are really practical for traveling. That being said, I'm obviously already wearing makeup, so I'm not going to be showing you how I use these things, but we are going to fit everything that I'm going to show you in this bag. I think this is from Estee Lauder. Everything's going to fit in here, including brushes and my beauty blender. The first thing I want to pack up in here is eyeshadow. It doesn't really make sense when you're traveling to pack a bunch of single eyeshadows, and even though these 4 eyeshadows are smaller than a palette would be, you're really limiting yourself if you're bringing single eyeshadows. Unless you wear the same eye makeup every single day and just a couple of shadows, then you can get away with something like this or one of the little trios or quads. But if you're someone who likes to switch up your eye makeup every day, like me, I like to travel with either the Kathleen Lights and Morphe palette, this Studio Makeup On The Go palette, this is the Cool Down palette, or my Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. All 3 of these fit in this bag. So I'm actually going to put the Naked palette in there just because this is my favorite palette and I travel with it a lot. The Kathleen Lights one does also fit in there and it's also one of my favorites, and you can get a lot of looks out of all of these palettes, and that's why I like to travel with these ones. But we are just going to stick the Naked palette right at the bottom of the bag. The next thing I want to talk about are foundations. Again, if you're wearing BB creams, those usually come in like little soft tubes, kind of like this would. But if you're a foundation wearer, you have options. Most foundation bottles come in 1 ounce bottles, so unless you've got a sample or you want to pump a little bit of your foundation into a little container or something like that, if you want to travel with a full bottle, even though most foundations are 1 ounce, they do have different sizes. So like this is a different shape than the Maybelline Fit Me one, and there's stick foundations as well. I would go for something that's kind of sleek like this rather than a big tube like this. This is soft, so stuff can lay against it, but I just find that this fits a little bit better, so I am gonna stick that in the bag as well. In terms of face products, I think that, again, it varies depending on what kind of makeup you're wearing every day. I am gonna put enough in this bag to do a full face, but again, if you don't do a full face every day, you can omit all of these things. Great things to look for traveling are things that come in packs, so like a blush and a highlighter kit, or like this e.l.f. contour kit. Because this comes with a contour shade, a bronzing shade, a powder that isn't translucent, but you could use to set down a concealer and a highlighter, things like this are great options. Even though they are big, you're getting 4 products. I'm gonna put things in my travel bag that I know that I love. I'm gonna put my favorite blush, NARS Orgasm, in the bag just because I know that it's my favorite. It's sleek, and if I'm traveling, I'm not mixing up my makeup a lot every single day, whereas when I'm home and I have access to 9 different blushes, I might be wearing a different one. I would love to bring them all, but because I can't, I am gonna just put my favorite in the bag. Same with highlight. Even though that e.l.f. kit has a highlighter in it that is very similar to the baked highlight in Moonlight Pearls, I'm just gonna put Moonlight Pearls in the bag. Because this is a baked product, you can just take a little bit and a light hand and get a really natural, really pretty highlight, or you can go in with a heavier hand and really get a gleaming highlight on your cheek. So I am going to put this in the bag as well. One of the things about travel makeup is really just about being practical. So although this is just 1 color highlighter and it is like an icy white highlighter, it's not very practical to bring something like a Makeup Geek highlighting palette. Even though this does have 3 colors, so you have more options, this isn't very practical. It would fit in the bag, but I just think for traveling, you don't need this. You don't need 3 different highlighters. So as much as I like having this at home, I don't think that it's practical to travel with unless I'm gonna be gone for a really long time and I want to have more options. So that saves us from having to put like a pressed powder or a loose powder and like all sorts of stuff in the bag. In terms of primer, If you have little sample sizes of primer, if you have Ipsy products are great for traveling because they do give you sample sizes a lot of the time. I am going to throw this in just because it is sleek, it is thin, it isn't too big, so I am going to throw the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer into the bag as well. Concealer is pretty easy. I'm going to put Maybelline Fit Me in the bag rather than like the Tarte Shape Tape just because this is sleeker, it is thinner, it's a little bit more lightweight, and this is easier to wear during the day and easier to wear with light makeup than Tarte Shape Tape is. When I'm traveling, sometimes I don't have time to do full coverage everything, and I don't want to have full coverage everything on, so Maybelline Fit Me is a great option, so that's the one I am putting in my bag. I just think that this cream contour is really great because you can put on as little or as much as you want and blend it out, and since I'm not bringing every brush that I own, I do want something that I can blend out with a beauty blender, which we are going to put in the bag. I think that travel makeup is just about being practical, so being able to blend this with a beauty blender rather than having to bring a flat top brush that I would use when I'm at home is a really great option as well. For eyebrow products, I would definitely recommend finding a pencil that you like, so the e.l.f. one, here's a Maybelline one that's a little bit thinner, and then there's like Benefit's Gimme Brow or the Essence Make Me Brow, stuff like that. I would recommend finding a pencil that you love because then you don't have to bring multiple different eyebrow products, you don't have to bring brushes, you don't have to worry about all of that. This comes with a spoolie on the end, so you don't have to bring an additional eyebrow brush with you because this has both. So I'm going to use this as my eyebrow product and put it in the bag. If you're somebody who wears eyeliner a lot and you're traveling, I would recommend bringing a pencil rather than like a liquid liner or a pen liner, because if you bring a pencil, you can use it as a liner on top, you can smudge it out, you can use it as a base for eyeshadow and smudge it out if you're going for something smoky, you can tight line with it, you can put it on your waterline, you can use a pencil for lots of different things. So I would recommend a pencil eyeliner over a cream or a gel or a liquid or a pen eyeliner. Eyeshadow primers aren't really very big, so I'm going to throw in this primer potion. e.l.f. also has one that's very sleek and very thin, so it just depends on what you want, but none of my eyeshadow primers are very big, so tossing that into the bag is not a big deal. This also will lock in your makeup all day. So if you're, traveling and you're in a hotel and you're out and about all day and you can't touch up your makeup and you don't want to be fussing and you don't want to be worrying, this will keep your makeup on all day, especially if you're walking around and you're traveling and you're doing a bunch of touristy things and maybe you're sweating a little bit. Would definitely recommend the Urban Decay Primer Potion. For mascara, I am going to bring this Too Faced Better Than Sex, even though the tube is a little bit bigger than some of my other mascaras. I'm bringing this one because if I only apply one coat of this mascara, I still get lots of volume and my eyelashes are fanned out, but if I go in with a second coat, it gives a lot of drama, a lot of volume to my lashes. So depending on what time of the day it is and what I'm doing while I'm traveling, this is really great because I can change it from day to night just by adding another coat. For brushes, I am going to pack a beauty blender. I'm packing a beauty blender because you can use it for, if you want to put primer on with it, you can do that. You can use it for foundation. You can use it for blending out a cream contour. You can use it for your concealer. If you do bring a cream highlight, you can use it for that. So I would definitely recommend bringing a sponge with you when you travel, just because it's easier than bringing a different brush for every single product that you're going to be using. Even though the beauty blender, I am going to bring this because I like to set it on this to dry. It does take up a little bit of room, but I think it's worth it to not have to bring 17 different brushes for your face. For the rest of my face, for eyes, I'm going to bring a crease brush and 2 shadow brushes. So by bringing a crease brush and 2 shadow brushes, you can do multiple different looks. The Urban Decay palette that we put in also has a brush that has really nice on both ends. I really like that brush. So if you do bring a palette rather than individual eyeshadows and the palette has a brush that you like, you get another brush out of that. So I am packing 3 brushes for my eyes. I'm going to be packing this brush. This is just a small highlighting brush from Luxie rather than a fan brush because I don't want a fan brush to get crushed and to have it get misshapen when I'm traveling. So I am just going to bring a Luxie highlighting brush. And then if you were going to pack a powder contour or a bronzer or something like this, I would say to go ahead and pick one of these brushes, kind of the tapered edge ones. I do have one that's shorter, so that is the one that I would pack. And then for setting sprays, you really are going to want to look for something that's travel size, or like the e.l.f. Illuminating Mist and Set, because it's not as big as the Urban Decay All Nighter spray. It's not as big as the Milani setting spray. So I have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro spray, and I am going to pack that in the bag. This was a sample size. They do sell sample sizes and travel sizes of setting sprays. You can also get a little spray bottle that they sell for travel and put your setting spray into that. But I would definitely recommend something like e.l.f. or NYX over an Urban Decay setting spray, just because it's smaller and it's going to save you space. I'm not a huge lipstick wearer, so I am just going to pack a tiny Vaseline Lip Therapy, just because when you're traveling to different climates too, if it's really hot or it's really humid or it's really cold and the wind is burning your lips, I want something that's going to be intensive. It's still going to give a shine to my lips because it is a shiny lip balm, so I will have something going on my lips, but it's not going to be a bright red lipstick. There is plenty of room in this bag to pop in a lipstick of your choice. If you really like nudes or you really like reds, you could pop that in here. Bringing a simple gloss as well, if you don't want to fuss with a lipstick, just to add something interesting to your lips, is a really great option. And then I also like to bring a night cream with me when I'm traveling, because I don't want to skip on my skincare when I'm traveling. So I do have this Olay Native Olay firming cream that I use every single night. I don't want to skip this when I'm traveling, and so it just slips right into the bag, right on top. And everything fits in this bag perfectly. The thing with traveling with makeup is that you just need to be strategic about your packing. So I put the Urban Decay palette at the bottom. If we were putting in the Kathleen Lights palette, it slides down the side of this bag really, really nicely. But this is a full face of makeup plus a lip therapy Vaseline thing and a night cream. So you can fit all of your makeup into this bag. And then in terms of removing makeup, I would highly recommend a makeup eraser. It is soft, so you can roll it up and just stick it into the bag. If you do like makeup wipes, makeup wipe bags don't take up a lot of room. You can just throw them into like your backpack, your suitcase, your carry-on, whatever you're using to travel, and they won't take up that much room. But a makeup eraser is perfect because you're gonna take off your makeup at night, leave it out to dry, and it'll be dry in the morning, so that if you have to pack it back into the bag, it won't get mildewy and it won't get disgusting. You could also fit a toothbrush and a travel size toothpaste in this bag without any problems. So there you have it, a full face of makeup, a night cream, a makeup remover, toothbrush, toothpaste, all in this bag. If you're someone who travels a lot or is looking for travel friendly makeup and stuff like that, I hope that you liked this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm getting closer and closer to 100 subscribers, and so I would love it if you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!